mean, that's great. It is great, isn't it? I guess it was always a possibility. I didn't expect it to happen so soon. I mean, there's no reason why it shouldn't have happened. I just want you to know, if it isn't great, it's your body, and I support you. No, honestly, I'm made up. God, this is real. This is really happening. Do you need anything? Do you want to sit down or a drink or something? Obviously, like a juice, not a drink. I do get it. And not that I'm trying to control your body or anything. God, that'd be awful. I'm alright. I'm alright here. No, I'm fine. I'm fine, really. I just hadn't really thought that's what you were going to say to me right now. I thought you were going to ask me if I renewed the car insurance. I tried yesterday, but the line was busy. I'll need to try again today. No. Honestly, it's great. It's really great, isn't it? This is probably one of the best moments of my life. Our life. I just don't... My heart is beating so fast. I actually feel like I'm a little bit sick. Are you feeling sick? Or has that not started yet? I'm sorry. I don't know what's gotten into me. I should probably mention this whole situation when I get through to the insurance people. It's probably good I didn't get through yesterday. Sorry. I'm sorry. There are things I've not really spoken to you about before. Not a proper secret or anything, just kind of, well, not, sometimes it makes more sense to not say something. Because I think you know most things or work things out anyway. You know what I'm like. More like a feelings thing. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. This is bad timing, isn't it? I'm so sorry. I just have a lot of feelings right now, and if I'm being really honest, I'm kind of scared to tell you. That's so silly of me, isn't it? Because I don't want you to think of me any differently. I don't actually think you will, and like I say, you know me. You know what I'm like. It's just weird having to put words to it, you know. And I know some of my quirks can frustrate you and get in the way a bit, but I'm not trying to excuse anything or get out the fact that I can be annoying. I know I can be annoying. And it's so hard to explain because I'm not really sure if I really get it myself, if that makes sense. Like I get this feeling that I'm going to die. No, not like that. I don't want to die. I really don't want to die. I just feel like sometimes I'm going to. I don't know if I should update the life insurance when I talk to them about the car. And I've not really worked out how to stop that feeling. And that is actually scary. And I think I know what that feeling is because I've Googled it, right? Of course I've Googled it. That's part of the thing. You know what I'm like? I'm always Googling. Do you remember when I Googled so much I ended up Googling for blurry vision? You have to tell me to stop it. Stop searching and make an appointment if it really is that bad. Because you know what I'm like. You know how I get. I can be get a bit worried about things as it is. The feelings cause symptoms and the symptoms cause feelings. Does that make sense? I suppose like hypochondria, but it's not like what you think. I don't always think I'm ill. I'm not a hypochondriac. I hate it when you joke about man flu. I don't find that very funny. Because I don't really know how to explain it, but sometimes I do think I'm going to die. Even if logically it doesn't make any sense that would happen, you know? It's always just sitting somewhere in my brain ready to come to the front. Maybe it's a pulled muscle or a bit of a sniffle, but I always think, what if it's not? What if it's something else? What if it's something much worse or even worse? What if there's something wrong with me and I don't even know? I could be dying and I wouldn't be any the wiser. See? That's my hands going. Sorry, I know you hate it when they get gross and clammy. I've checked though. That's actually nothing to worry about. Some people just have hands like this. It is a bit warm in here though, isn't it? Did you need a drink? Oh, I forgot I'd asked you. My heart's still going. Can you hear it? It sounds to me like it's right in here. I don't want you to wake up next to me and find me dead. Because maybe I ignored a little niggle I had. I sometimes wish I was a car. Because I'd like a full yearly checkup and diagnostics and anything fixed that needs it. I'm always focusing on the littlest bit of pain or changes in my body. Have I got a new mark on my skin or a new bump or whatever it is? I mean, you know that. I'm always making you check. And I appreciate how much you indulge me in this. And I worry. I mean, I'm super happy. Please don't think I'm not. But I worry. Because what if I'm awful? What if I worry too much about you? Because your body's about to change. You're growing a new person. What if I get all obsessive or controlling? Because I'd hate myself for doing that. I love you and I don't want to hurt you. But what if I get those little niggles about you? And I need to know you're going to be safe. Especially in hospital and at appointments. I do want to come with you, obviously. I don't want to miss these moments. But you know how I hate those places? So many diseases trapped in one building. I'll still make sure I come with you. But I know it's going to be tough. And I don't want to make those moments about me. And what about when the baby's here? Am I going to panic? Am I going to let my worries mean that I don't let our child do anything because I don't want it to get sick or hurt itself? What if I'm worrying too much about worrying and ignore something and I miss something important that causes harm? What if I don't get books from the library because I don't know who's touched them before? Or go help in a soft play area because I panic about getting stuck and hurting myself? Or I don't let them try new food because one time I got food poisoning from something similar. Or can't take them swimming without worrying for the rest of the week I've picked something up. What if it's my fault something awful happens? What if I've passed some defective DNA over and I've given our child some horrible hereditary disease? What if I find out I have? Maybe we won't know until I'm 80s or in my 80s or something. What if I pass on this? What if I pass on these feelings? I don't know how it works, but I know these things rub off on people. What if you have the two of us worrying about every little detail of our own bodies and I can't help because I don't know what to do? I'm sorry. I don't mean to worry you. It just sort of came out here. I'm really happy. I promise I am. I want to do a great job. I mean, it's going to be great. Isn't it?
I just really need to feel safe. A safe space. A small space. A little hideaway where no one else can get inside. I know that must seem strange. I'd have thought so too. A grown woman hiding inside a blanket fort. I mean, it's not normal behaviour. I'm not saying it's normal. But I don't want to analyse it. I don't want reassurances. I've got a little tornado inside me. And when I built this safe space and crawled in, it stopped. Just about. I like small spaces. I used to run away any time Mum and Dad started arguing and I'd squeeze myself between our garage and the neighbours. Hidden. Safe. Sometimes I can still feel the pebble dash against my back. Sometimes it took them hours to notice I was missing. And then they'd call and sometimes I'd come out. And sometimes I'd wait to see if they'd give up. But I don't see the point in always talking about the past. I'd prefer to think, how am I today? What can I do today? And well, today I'm hiding in a den. But I'm not crazy. It's pancreatic cancer. You know, I probably wouldn't have even visited him if I didn't think it was serious. Even the Christmas card stopped 10 years ago. I just didn't see the point when Mum had finally left him. But there's a difference between never having to see him again and never getting to see him again. He was asleep. He looked just like an old man. He'd taken his false teeth out. And he looked sort of vulnerable. I sat beside him for a while and then I realised I was almost holding my breath. Deliberately quiet, trying not to wake him. You see, the nurse could tell him, your daughter was here. Then tick, guilty conscience dealt with. I was even thinking about the minister I'd get to do the funeral and there he was alive, breathing still. Is it guilt or is it shame? Guilt is when you've done something wrong. Shame is a little more complex. They called this morning to say he'd punched a nurse in the face. Not to worry, it was probably a blood infection, side effect of the medication, dementia. I didn't have the heart to tell him it was none of the above, just his sparkling personality. Instead, I felt this slithering, lurching, stomach flip of guilt or shame, as if I was somehow responsible. The same feeling I'd get when I saw Mum's bruises. I pretended to believe she was just that clumsy. But I should have done something. I should have stopped him. I can't be responsible. I can't take on that responsibility now. Or maybe I can. Maybe I'm just being selfish. Don't answer that. I know. I've always been selfish. You wouldn't know it. I mean, you'd never think so. There's all the bake sales, food banks, volunteering with the Scouts, planting trees, teaching orphans in Asia, church every Sunday, and I always put in a good handful to the collection. I mean, not notes, but a good handful. But I am selfish, stubborn. When I got into uni, it didn't matter that it was hundreds of miles away and they needed me at home. I could have stayed, got a job, or applied somewhere closer to home, but I just wanted to get away. I needed to get away. That's probably why I've never settled down. I find it so hard to compromise, to make allowances, to make room for other people. You see, other people aren't safe. You can't count on other people. You can't trust them to protect you. You could be screaming for help and she wouldn't even move an inch. I don't want you to get the wrong impression. It wasn't her fault. She was a victim. She did her best. She was the best mum she could be under the circumstances, but she doesn't always understand that. The girl inside me, the girl I was. I've spent so long telling that little girl to shut up and be quiet, just like everyone else always did. Shut up, shut up, shut up, the adults are talking. I don't want to do that to her anymore. So when I feel that lurching in my stomach or that tornado of anxiety, I have to remember that it's her. Panicking, out of control. And instead of telling her to shut up and stop it, I should be saying it's okay. I'll look after you. We'll figure this out together. It's like reparenting myself. Is that crazy? No. She doesn't feel safe, and if she needs to build a little den to hide away in while we figure it out, then maybe I should stop calling her crazy. I know I'm not a child, but I'm still his child, and she's still screaming about it inside of me. I can't tell her that we have to be responsible. I can't welcome her bully into our home. I don't want to be another adult telling her to put up and shut up. Instead, I need to be the adult who says, what is it you need? I'm listening.
Right. Paolo, are you listening? Get your books out. We'll begin. This is what is on the cards. The police will raid a teddy bear's picnic, and there will be a Mad Hatter's tea party with sack races in bags of flour. Humpty Dumpty will fall off the bandwagon, getting serious injuries. He will learn the garlic language in therapy. Garlic. Garlic will be the new language. I will be requested as a translator, as this is the language I can speak. Robin Hood, with the 4 of spades, will break into a safe to pay his children's tuition fees. Dopey, one of the 7 dwarfs, will be ordered to do community service for being his apprentice. Little Bo Peep will lose her sheep gambling at the King of Clubs casino. Her crying will disturb me at night, so I will suggest she count sheep. Tweedledee and Tweedledum will be barred from bars for rowing in garlic. This will make the language seem like punk, and I will get a bad reputation for teaching it. The Jack of Diamonds will use the language to spread bad news to Lulu, the Queen of Diamonds. This will cue tabloid headlines, which people will think I taught. The punk little match girl will burn down a pub in an insurance scam. She will say in court she was swallowing and breathing fire. The 4 of clubs. Pinocchio will be dishonest. He will be punished to cook pork pies. I will be accused of teaching him how to lie. I only tell the truth, though. The 5 of spades. The unhappy prince will have a nervous breakdown. I will read garlic to him like bedtime stories and lullabies to lure him from a windowsill. The kings and queens will complain of these readings. Humpty Dumpty will be rehabilitated with the 1-to-1 garlic language, the new language that will exist. The Jack of Clubs will open a new nightclub, Foxy Tales, where Jack and Nori is a hip-hop master and Tweedledee and Tweedledum a punk duo. Babs O'Shanter will sue Tam to mend her broken heart, while he is chased by witches from the nightclub every night. Foxy Tales is where the Jack of Hearts and the Queen of Tarts will socialise. Robin Hood's teenage sons and daughters will sneak from their treehouse to party there. There will be articles about Pinocchio, the lying politician, and photos of the punk little match girl in the circus. A bakery will be shut down by the big bad wolf of environmental health when a sock is found in a cake and a gingerbread man gives evidence. The unhappy prince will be healed with the bedtime stories and lullabies that I will tell him. That is, after all, what the cards are reading, Diablo.
He asked me to bring something that reminds me of him, that I've got an emotional connection to. And at first I didn't know what to bring. I thought I could maybe bring my dog, but then I thought, nah, she might piss away the flare. And I thought I could bring a photo of us, but he wouldn't like that. Hated getting his photo taken. So I decided on this. I brought this bracelet. Brought it back for me, one of his holidays. Lanzarote, his annual holiday abroad. I mean, it's not the nicest thing, is it? I remember when he gave it to me, I'm just looking down at this ugly wee brown thing. At first I didn't really know what it was. I'm thinking, oh, how am I going to tell him that it's bloody rotten? It's the thought that counts, eh? No, it's funny, it broke the day before he died. I always thought about that. What if it didn't break? Would he still be alive? Did that cause him to die because I broke it? I mean, I know it was the cancer that killed him, but I think I caused it. What if it didn't break? Would he still be here, alive? Oh, you must think I'm mental. Me thinking that snapping a bracelet caused my dad to die, when everyone else does, when they don't say it, but I can tell with the look in their eyes, you know that way. Never dealt with it. I'm trying, I really am, but I can't get over this. He was my dad. He believed in me when no one else did. Understood me. He listened to me when I came out. He always loved me for who I was, and now I just don't have it. I mean, I've got my mum and my sister. It's different. You know, when I was coming here the day, I always come the same way, just through the wee park, just a one down the road. And there was Wayne's with their dads and Moz, and they were playing on the swings. That brought back memories there. Pushing me in the swings, and me shouting up, "Higher, Dad, I want to go higher." And I get jealous. I felt angry. I know I shouldn't have, but I did. Teeth gritted, fists balled, so I had to move at the park just to go and calm down. I found myself looking at the trees in this sort of trance. The leaves, I was fixated by the leaves. You know, in the summer when they're healthy and green, but then when the autumn comes, they start to die slowly. Hanging on for dear life. Changing colour, these beautiful, pretty colours that auburns, crimsons, lurid yellows, and everyone starts taking photos of them because they are beautiful to look at, but they're dying. Hanging on for dear life. I'm thinking, why? Why did they do that? I mean, you wouldn't take a picture if your family member was dying, would you? And then do you know what I realised? I'm like a leaf. In the summer I was healthy, but after my dad died I felt like I started dying too. Like, not my body, but my mind. It started to change, to decay like a rotten tooth needing extraction, or looking at him, his body decomposing. And now the autumn's coming and I'm hanging on, and trust me, my grip is tight, I am hanging on, but I can feel it loosening minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day. And I don't want to fall. To hit the ground lying dead, crumpled and forgotten, purple and brown like a leaf when the autumn comes. And yeah, I remember, I felt like this before. I was bullied quite badly in school. Steve Jones, like lanky thing, no a nice boy, you know the type. And my dad helped me through that. And now I feel like that wee boy again, or he's inside me, deep inside, crying out, and now there's no one. There's no one there to help him. To tell the bullies to stop. Because now the bullies, they're in here. My head, my mind, and he is not there to tell him to stop, to go away, because they're always there, picking at me, always. And I thought maybe if I fixed this, it would help it go away, but it won't, will it? Could you help make them go away? That's why I'm here. Please. I don't want to be a leaf.
Right, where were we? Dear Susan. Dear? Or, hey Susan? No. Too chirpy. Susan. Just Susan. Susan. I have been wanting to tell you this for a while. Delete. Start again. Dear Susan, how are you? I have been wanting to talk to you for a long time about God, I can't do this. Normally once I decide to do something, that's it. Game over. It's done. It's out there. No going back. And I know as soon as I start to write something, I'm going to send it one way or another. But I just want to be sure. Okay? Dear Susan, I have been wanting to talk to you for a long time about my feelings. Cringe! That's too weird. Is that weird? If you look at all those Amazon boxes, I'm going to have to return them or I'm going to end up with a pile of junk that doesn't fit again. Though I might try those shoes. They were quite nice. Will I just open them up again? No. Leave them be. Besides, I've no sellotape. Sellotape. Sellotape! Why am I worrying about sellotape when I've got important things going on? I know that you are older and married, and my therapist. She's my bloody therapist. What am I doing? This is all your fault. This is all your fault, Jack. If you'd just gone away sooner, none of this would have happened. But no. Here we are. I'm 24. And you're still here. Susan thinks I invented you after Mum died. And we both know she might be right. Yeah, she's married. I told you she was married. No, not much. She doesn't give away much about herself. She's so calm and contained. And I wish I could be more like that. I just go blurting it all out to anyone, everyone. To tell you that I love her, you? No bloody heart emoji. I nearly sent her a puppy dog gift. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. To tell you that I love you. I've sent it. I've sent it. I've actually gone and sent it. I wasn't actually going to send it just there. I wanted to read it again, maybe make a few changes, but I've actually gone and sent it. I feel a bit sick. I shouldn't have sent it. I'll put it away. Up here. I can't see it. I won't touch it or look at it. Deep breaths. Oh, Jesus. Is that her already? Oh, no. It's not her. It's Dominoes. Bloody Dominoes. Nearly giving me a friggin' heart attack. Thank God. I should go out. Leave the phone here. I should throw it in the toilet. No, it might survive. I'll freak out and stick my hand in and rescue it, and it might work again. I should throw it in the river. Go on a nice walk by the river and just throw it in. It'll be really cathartic. A bloody good feeling. Like the start of something. Fresh start. Not the start I wanted, but a different start, right? Right, Jack? Oh, Jesus. It's her.
The train pulls up to the platform and, for a moment, I forget. I press the beeping button, as normal. Then I remember. Who else has touched it this morning? I reach into my coat, get my alcohol gel, rub it over my red hands. What would you think of all this? Would you be angry at the politicians who are
more concerned with protecting the reputation of the dead than looking out for the living? Or would you be laughing at the ridiculousness of our sudden fear of familiar places? I was never certain what you would say. Unsure even now. The man in the suit at the far end of the carriage, he frowns at me. He doesn't know why I'm here. I smile, apologetically, but he can't see it behind my mask, so I sit down. I try and make myself as small as possible. Pull out my phone. So many notifications. Look up. The man hits the keys on his laptop. The line on his graph, it's not following the path that it should. It's all my fault. I sink even lower into my chair, plug in my earphones, drown out the noise. The player selects a recording of our last duet, the voices of our violins. Sometimes playing in harmony, sometimes in counterpoint. Years of practice, of finding the exact place on the bridge where to place our fingers, of learning to keep our bodies perfectly still whilst the rhythm makes us want to dance, contorting our wrists so that the bow can dance freely over the strings, standing so still so they can find their voice and sing. And the tunes, they grow and they grow. And the notes, they chase each other merrily, hiding from one another, then cheekily emerging before spinning off again, and then a moment of silence. A solo violin, carefully making its way back in, subdued, and slinking towards the end. Adagio. I am not in the mood to listen to more. It won't let me switch it off. But I can pause it for now. At the station, the barrier swallows my card. The gates open. Now I struggle to keep my balance on the slick floor. Got to keep moving. My muscles, they complain as I put one foot in front of the other, avoiding the cracks. A walk I have done so many times before, yet not done in so long. And there it is. The place that was once our home. Until the day I opened the door, walked down the path, past the gate. Smaller, somehow, than in my dreams. I still have a key, stuck in the lining of my jacket. I pull it out the hole in my pocket and the sharp edges, they tug in the threads further. I will need to fix that hole or soon there'll be no lining left to mend. But now is not the time. I put the key in the lock and I try and turn it, but I've forgotten the knack. And the lock, it resists. The woman across the street, she's watching me. Deep breath. Remember, I push it in further and then I hear a click. I push the door, I almost fall inside, and then I shut the door quickly. I am here. Like a thief. In a house that some papers in a safe say now belongs to me. I bet you wish you had sorted that paperwork now. But you were too busy with other things. Anyway, it's not appropriate to talk about that now. What is done cannot be undone. And I am here, so where to go first? Upstairs? where the empty music stand and dusty case lies. They say you never played after I pulled that door shut. Though I don't think that was all down to me. And what would they know anyway? I mean, you were uncertain towards the end. Maybe I should be more practical. Go to the living room or the kitchen, find out where that sour smell is coming from. I wish you left me some instructions, some indication what to do, how to be. Cleaning fluids. It's too late to start now, but I will need to make the place decent before I let others in, though I doubt there's anything in the cupboards. The light is fading. I wander through to the kitchen and I take the key for the back door off the hook, step outside. We were never gardeners. I remember us bickering over whose turn it was to cut the grass. I mean, we just about kept it respectable, though it was never right and nothing thrived. When one year I did buy strawberry plants, I remember planting them in the corner, watering them. Though they humoured me, the flowers, they never came to much, and the fruits they produced were never more than shriveled little bullets that we scraped into the bin. And you gently laughed at my attempts to do something different. So we went back inside, left them, and forgot. But left on their own, they have grown, large, plump, juicy. Oh, I long to eat one. Not yet. I gather them up in my hands, return to the house, wash them under the sink, and they sit in a bowl ready. Switch on the radio. Still set to your station. Violin plays. Bruch. Violin Concerto No. 1 in G minor. Effortless brushstrokes painting a picture. Perfect placings, bringing the notes delicately to life, and the trills of the violin mimic the song of the birds outside in the hedgerows. The sky grows darker. I turn up the music to drown out the sobs. Feel my body sway to the rhythm of the music, and tears fall down my face. Tomorrow I will get a charger and I will go through the messages on my phone. Make a list. I will buy cleaner and spray and polish, and I will attack the dirt. But tonight, I will eat strawberries and I will savour the sweetness of each individual bite. And I will remember the sound of your laughter and the jokes that nobody else will ever know. And that will be enough.
Hi Colour Crew, it's Rosie Bear here. Welcome to the Rainbow Connections vlog. I have a story for you about how your dreams can become real if you truly believe in the power of colours in nature. And remember, Don't let fear swamp your colourful spirit. When rainbow bears get sad, our fur turns dull and pastel. And I don't know about you guys, but I get a feeling like a dark blue cloud bubbling up, along with the nervous violet butterflies fluttering in my stomach. One day I went out for my daily colour boost walk and I saw a beautiful rainbow, as well as pictures in the windows of shops and houses. Seeing the wide variety of colour around me comforted me, and I felt reconnected, which brightened my fur a little bit. I really miss the team, and I do feel a bit lost without seeing my special friend Jill, the on-tour fairy, who always encourages me to stay positive and dream big, with a sparkly pouch of white magic dust that glistens across her wings and brushes onto my fur each time we share a friendly hug. During that night, a colourful vision entered my mind of people connecting through a festival of music and dance in a budding orchard here in Buckie. As the dream continued to blossom, I had such a pleasant sleep that when I woke up, excitable indigo butterflies were flying around my room, and I had an empowering feeling of passion to turn my dream into a reality. My head swimming with vivid thoughts, I switch on to our Zoom call. The planning book is jam-packed with colourful to-do lists of jobs to be done and contacts to be made. What we need to do, team. The red page is about what I need from the council. Next up is the orange page with the police requirements. The yellow page is for security needs. And I am really excited about the green page for entertainment. Singers, musicians, storytellers, dancers, magicians, face painters, superheroes and princesses. I've always seen myself like Merida from Brave, but Jill secretly fancies Batman. My task list is gradually getting smaller each day, and every day I can feel a stripe of my fur begin to brighten. 2020 is slipping away like the sands of time towards 2021, and I'm almost out of battery. It's time to sign off. We can do this together, Colour Crew. We can find a way, can't we? Stay bold, stay beautiful.
I think she's going to ask me soon. I can feel it. It's only a matter of time. She asked me where I grew up, but I changed the subject. Cracked a bad joke. Something about my height. I banged my head on our second date. She didn't laugh when I banged my head. I wouldn't have blamed her if she did. Bloody gastropubs. All beans, craft ales and food served on a spade. She did get me ice though, for my head. But it turned into this whole thing, and I was sweaty and nervous about the date and about the head thing, and you know how ice can be? Well, it melted down the front of my face. 4 cubes of it turned into a bloody river. It must have looked like I was crying. And I didn't know what to do, and my head is throbbing, and she offers me tissues. For my head. That must have looked weird. Like she'd just broken up with me and I'd taken it badly. But this wasn't the end of something. It was the beginning. The beginning of lots of talking. And probably lots of questions. That's why I usually say yes to blind dates. No, seriously. You get a bit of a background check. A list of things, and they get a list on you. Saves you going over the basics, you know. Height, build, age, occupation, hobbies. Do they still use the word hobbies, or is that just for folk who call into radio stations and appear on quiz shows? A version of you that is appealing. Keep the bad stuff back, don't darken the banter. And then it happens. You offer them the truth and it's done, finished, over and out. But this girl, the one who pushes her lime down into her beer and then licks her fingers, she might have something to say about it. She is a real person, stepping out of her world and into mine. She's out there now. Outside the pub, I mean. Listening to someone else's heartache. A friend. She won't be long, she said, but it's important. She needs me, she said. I get it, I said. And I nod and smile, like a considerate person would. But I'm nervous. Nervous I might give her my own truth. Gently slide it across the table like money owed. Will she push it back? No thanks, you can keep it. When she comes back in, I'll ask her if everything's okay. With her friend, I mean. Then just find a way to spit it out. Just tell her before she asks. What do your parents do? Do you have a big family? Do you get on with your parents? Any brothers or sisters? Do you still live at home? If she wants to have food, settle in for a bit. I might tell her about the weeks of silence. Corned beef sandwiches at a neighbour's house. Walking to the end of the road to watch the ponies. No sound. None. Had I gone deaf? And then you're 18 and you're no longer an orphan. Apparently. You can go it alone. You can grow up. You will accept it and it will be the making of you. You will make them proud even though you didn't know them or their pride. You will look like them, these two strangers. She's bound to ask, isn't she? It will be like handing her a big, heavy, dirty stone. She will have to feel the weight of it. I didn't say the words until I was 10. I shouted at a woman in the street. I was kicking a bin. She threatened to tell my mum and dad. My mum and dad are dead. I'll kick bins all day if I want. I will kick all the bins. If I see a bin and I feel like kicking it, I will. Find me a bin immediately. Can I say the same words now? To this girl. She might be tired from the weight of her friend's stone. My stone's bigger, surely. I mean, if it's something really bad, she would have left. But if it's something small, like a dead pet or something, well, I can't really lob the orphan grenade at her, can I? That's not fair. I've never had a pet. Must be terrible when they die. I mean, people lose their shit over it. She's nodding. A dog, maybe? I won't mention the dog when she comes back in. But if she mentions it, then what do I say? Our dog died. No, so did my parents. Shit, huh? She's bound to ask me questions. Stuff that I don't know the answers to. How I feel about it, it changes all the time. You can't miss what you don't remember. Instead, you mark out the missed milestones and carry them heavy in your pockets. She's coming back now, mouthing sorry and smiling at me, asking if I'm hungry. I nod. Do they see me? My parents? Are they watching me fumble my way through this? Do they see her? My parents. She squeezes my hand and asks what's new. She pushes the lime down the neck of the bottle and licks her fingers. Will we dine on my fake smiles and fortitude? No. This time, I will try.
I pull the heads off our roses, petal by petal. I shred them. Some shreddings remain stuck to the palm of my hand. I can't shake them off. A phone rings. My phone, I think, 3 times. Can hear it vibrating from the kitchen through the clangs of coffee mugs on the table and those hushed conversations of family, of cousins, of aunties, of uncles. Like Uncle, I want to say Colin, who only shows up on these worst of occasions. 11:15. The fog has just lifted, and through the cars in the streets, the neighbours peer their head through closed blinds and kitchen windows to see what's going on. A few of them gather on the pavement, start chatting to each other. Some who haven't seen each other for weeks now, months now. Like Joan at number 4, or old Mrs. Harris at number 6. Mrs. Herald, as Mum used to call her. Any news, she would be the first to know. Danny speaks to a few of them, whilst having a cheeky draw of a cigarette, thinking nobody notices. See, no one will question her going out for some air. She keeps them hidden in an old dash cam box in the glove compartment of her car. Says she's quit. Bought herself a vape to draw herself off it. She's no determination. Always the one who's learned her lesson. Oh, and this time she really means it. Said something similar when she was caught at 15 skimming a few for Grandad's packet. He went mental. Lost it. Didn't speak to her for a whole week. What she didn't know was that I'd just swapped out my half-empty packet for his new ones every week. I've given up now. Can't stand the smell. Mum never screamed at us when Grandad told her. She just laughed instead. No lessons, no lectures to... The phone rings again. 4th time. Leave it or tell them I'll call back. Danny appears. Throws her head around the door, shaking off an umbrella, droplets trailing after her. Oh, doesn't enter the room. No. Stands in the hall. Says we should all be getting ready. She's always like this when she comes home. Flying visit, comes back, does what she has to, and then away again. Busy big city life for you, eh? Well, I throw on my coat from the back of an armchair. Everyone else files out past Danny, who has now retreated halfway up the staircase so she can keep her distance. I can't find my car keys. I always lay them down on the coffee table when I come home. Everything on the coffee table, jacket on the armchair, and then we talk. Catch up. Mum and I. We watched The Chase at 5, her favourite. We would eat dinner with the plates in our laps. And then afterwards we would eat every single chocolate biscuit from the tin. Then, the worse she got, the more often I would come home. Danny too, sometimes. I'd sit there for hours. I'd make sure we did all of those things we loved to when I would visit. Visit? Is that what it's called? Visit? We laughed about the time she put a mousetrap in Grandad's cigarette packet. Only a week later to catch us out. Fell for it. Put my hand right in there. Snap. Latched right on. And we learned our lessons too, aye.
Everything happens for a reason. Every action has a reaction and a consequence. I think she believed in predeterminism, that everything that's going to happen will happen. Like when Danny was 9 and she was walking up the stairs backwards and fell. Ended up face first at the bottom, nose spread across her face, and mum shouting, "Don't tempt fate." The pulls up outside. 11 o'clock. I pick up my keys from the kitchen beside my phone, and I can't really work out how they even ended up there. Danny takes them. Says she'll drive. Says I don't look like I can. Says she doesn't mind. Tells me to lock up mum's and then meet her in the car. Bring the roses, she says. There's only about 1 or 2 left intact. The rest lie broken, shredded at my feet and on the coffee table in the kitchen worktops. I bring them though, and my phone too. I lock the front door and I say goodbye. Because I can't come home to visit anymore. Visit.
You know in the film Ghost, when Whoopi Goldberg's character realises she really can hear the voices of the dead, and when the dead realise she is actually listening to them and they all crowd round? That's what it's like. So many voices, each with their own story to tell. So how do I listen to just one? To tell that story, without all the others barging in with their penny's worth? Difficult. Oh, there's a noisy one just now asking me why I'm moving. Again. I'll try and ignore it. Some days 3 or 4 voices have an argument and fill up my head so there's no space left. Then I can't hear anyone else, even you, in the real world. You see that oak tree? I planted that when my granddaughter was born. That was nearly 12 years ago. I was so chuffed to be a granny. And every time I moved house, the tree came too, outgrowing one pot for a bigger one over and over. And now the oak is bigger than either of us. She's tall, my granddaughter, like her mum and dad. We Skype most weeks as they live far away. I don't get to see her much. The tree keeps her in my mind. I won't be able to take that oak with me. I've got another, small, in a pot, ready for the move. There's plants here for the bees. White lavender will be in flower soon, drawing in more bees. The humming makes the voices quiet. They don't speak as much out here. I saw a video of Professor Robin Wall-Kimmerer recently. She's into environmental biology. She's a mum too, really aware of how we leave the world for the future. Robin was talking about the language of nature, how we talk about nature. Well, she was talking about revolutionary pronouns, transformative pronouns. I never understood all that stuff at school. Adverbs and pronouns and the rest. But I know about pronouns now. Wherever you look, people are saying, my pronouns are she, her. My pronouns are they, them. I don't care much for they, them. It feels too detached. Not personal at all. My generation, all the pronouns were fixed. No gender fluidity then. Interesting. I wonder if I would change my pronouns if I was younger. Sometimes the voices I hear are male, so I might. They, them. Maybe. Then Robin asks, what about the pronouns of nature? Why do we call these living beings its? In the language of her ancestors, one word for land is ki. Oh, not key, K-E-Y, though it opened a few doors in my head for sure, but ki, K-I. And if you want it in plural for lots, it's kin. So the pronouns for this garden are ki and kin. Makes you think, doesn't it? These trees that work for me, the herbs that feed me, the flowers that feed the bees and look so beautiful. They're not its, they're kin. So, Robin's voice has been in my head a lot this week, making sense of this garden I've planted, nourished, tended. I'm going to be leaving here soon. Not an easy decision, but it's made now. It's time to move on. Somewhere smaller, less isolated. I'll get a flat near a bus stop. I hope whoever moves in really sees what's here. I've done this before. Created a garden and then left. Several times. It doesn't really get any easier. They talk to me, the plants. I hear their voices sometimes, especially the trees. They talk about the warmth of the sun, cold winds, the different kinds of rain, the insects between their roots. It's not words, not like we speak, but they definitely communicate. And they love to hear our stories. I've told trees my stories since I was small. Their voices are clear and comforting. I'll just stand here a while and listen.
Don't even like these jeans, you know. They look bogging. It's something like an Asda George mannequin would even wear. Check these light blue side pockets, man. And when did it become a crime to wear jeans that fit? Absolutely no give with these. I dropped my phone tonight. Game over. The rest of the lads wear them though. So, when I do, it helps greatly in identifying me as one of them. Friday night, you see. End of the working week. A beacon of freedom and the start of what will eventually be known as halcyon days. A specific moment in time when anything is possible, and the early evening air pulsates with anticipation for the masses. For me, however, Maxie Parks, flat 56, floor 10, Kennis Head. It's the dreaded starting shot in the war against my own consciousness. Since lunchtime, the group chat has been alight with ideas and interpretations for tonight's entertainment, ranging from the impossible, 12 of us gaining entry to Somewhere in the Toon, to the improbable, 12 of us gaining entry if we go up in twos to Somewhere in the Toon. None of us are bad guys, it's not like that. It's just, usually the bouncers have made up their minds before Shawnee or Clarkie have even opened their mouths, or after Greggy's proclaimed that he's only had 2 half shandies. I think I'll pass on that link there, Danny boy. He's infamous for these. Just to be included in this group chat is an achievement, by the way. It's a privilege to even have my place. See, I'm not like them. Never have been. But here you can't survive if you're different. Here you must adapt to blend in with the socially accepted or risk being cocooned in a high-rise flat with your ma. Everything I say in this chat is to emulate them. And every buzz from this phone is a testament to years of adhering to the social principles of an uncommonly common chap. A chap that has lived its cemented existence since high school. Anyway, due to the ineffectiveness of the 12 Apostles, our group chat name, and finding a Friday night formula, our net is cast further and further afield. Eventually somebody who knows somebody who's pally with somebody who's having a house party is put forward, and as is our apostolic nature, we follow. First stop in my pilgrimage, Kennis Head convenience store. Crate of 12 buds, bottle of watermelon VK, cheap as Rosie from a shelf, and a half bottle of Buckfast. See, most folk my age have pre-drinks. I need to have pre-drinks, just so as I can go to a gaff with folk to have pre-drinks with. Tan most of this before I go, and then it's roll on to the night out, which will be just the same as any other night out. Usually don't remember Friday night. I wake up, confusion, shame, regret, bleakness, in no particular order. Eventually, the dreaded words that I've said drunkenly creep back into my inbox. Honestly, you don't know the fear until you read a text that starts with, "Do you remember what I said?" Words that initiate the paracetamol-induced, self-pitying stream of excuses that I always use to defend my behaviour. I'm just in a bad place right now. I was probably spiked. I've got a lot on my mind. The rest of the day is split between white-eating and messaging the chat to check that they're still sound with me. Asking forgiveness is getting as regular as dipping my overdraft. Why am I here to see you today? Well, it's Saturday morning and I'm sick. Not sick in a medical way like you're used to. Sick of thinking. Sick of knowing, sick of being sorry. I drink because I don't want to be me, but I'm not me
when I drink. But I need to fit in, though, with the group. I'm not an alcoholic. I do know that. I just need alcohol to go out. At least that's what I've put in the group chat.
Granny says you can't sleep. Callum. Good lad. Looks like Granny and Grandad tired you out after all. I must admit, I'm tired too, wee man. Been a long day. I've missed you. Mum's okay. She's just off to bed. Granny and Grandad have gone too, so it's just us boys. Think we'll have a lazy day tomorrow, eh? Watch a film. I'll cook. So chippy for tea, aye? In fact, I was talking to Grandad, and it's time you learnt about the mighty Hybees. I'm thinking the 1990 Tennant Sixes Cup winning side, taped straight off the telly. The glory years indeed. We're going to have to take good care of Mum tomorrow, Callum. The midwife said that's our job for the next wee bit. Make sure Mum is okay. She's been through a lot. I'll probably take a few days off. I'm not sure how this works. It's not like you get paternity leave. Not for this. I'm not sure about Mum either. She seems to think she'll be back at work soon as. Like Granny. Just get on with it. Don't think that's what's meant to happen here. Apparently it's not just the next few days. We need to keep an eye on Mum for when it catches up on her. The midwife says it's hard. Do you need to phone the estate agent? I'm meant to be signing the papers on the new place. Could do that, I guess. Fancy that? You could have first dibs on the new room. You have the choice of 3 now. No, you're not getting the ensuite. So yeah, choice of 3. I'm meant to have that chat with the client tomorrow. Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. They know we were pregnant. I'll just say I need to stay at home and look after you. Or you could go into nursery. I'll say I need to stay at home and look after Mum. I mean, they must get that this has been tough on her. On her. I told them that we had to go into hospital. I don't think people get that. I didn't. A miscarriage. Apparently, if they're 24 weeks old and not 23, that makes a big difference. The midwife says you have to do a lot more. Death certificate, funeral. That sounds awful. I guess we were lucky it happened early. I have no idea how your Granny and Grandad coped when Mary died. That's your Auntie Mary. You didn't meet her. Dad was just a wee boy when she died. Literally came home from school one day and she wasn't there. Never saw her again from that morning. No funeral for me. I was 8. Too little. We never even talk about her. Granny and Grandad. I guess that's how you cope. You just get on with things. No point dwelling. Not going to change anything. Bring them back. Yeah. I'll just say to work, it took a lot out of Mum, and take a couple of days holiday. Yeah, I can work the weekend, move the meeting to Monday. Mum's going to need lots of cuddles, Callum. I might need one myself, son. I know. It's not like they were born or anything. I can't imagine what that must be like. And I know we have you, but this doesn't feel right. We moved from London because we were having twins. We bought a big house. We changed jobs. What do we do now? Do we still take the house? It's all different in Scotland anyway. I've no idea if we could get out even if we wanted to. How does this work, Callum? 2 days ago we were pregnant and now we're not. We walk out of hospital with literally nothing. I know they said you should take a photo or something, or a handprint, but I didn't know they were going to be babies. It was a miscarriage. I didn't know they were babies. Big heads like you. The big budgies brains like your Auntie Beth. Just without the crying. No crying. Do you even tell people? Like, I get it if they were born then die. That's a child. But this isn't that. Oh, this hurts so much, Callum. How is this fair? We have literally nothing to show that they were here, Callum. Is that why we should have taken the photos? If we had the ashes, then we could do something. I think it's too late now. What did we do? Anyway, it's fine, son. I'll call work in the morning, sort out my diary and say I need tomorrow off. Yeah, we can go for a wander about the shops, eh? New trainers, maybe. Yeah, we'll do that, son. Love you.
Who's your dues? Aye, pinching. I'm pecking, out of breath. The hunters are chasing me. I'm in Colin Bridge. I've drawn them into my backyard. I love a challenge. Joining Hunted TV gives me that. I'm the hunter's prey. They track me or trace me through my phone or bank card. The control centre watches and looks for me on CCTV. The hunter's game is to make me fail. They're intense and after my blood. They don't want me to collect the prize money. £10,000. It's worth the pain. I'm moving on. I'm pecking. I need to keep moving on. Why am I here? I'm the background. It's in my DNA. The patience, the planning, good tradecraft. It was ideal for my surveillance work. My phone is off and wrapped in foil. There is no CCTV in the mountains. Like Jack Reacher, I have a rugged determination. I make things happen in a good way. My pastimes help. Backwoods knowledge, covert tradecraft, hiking and camping in the hills. Like all surveillance people, I subdue my emotions, but I love being on my own. I love being in the hills. One dark night, I slipped the iron chain, and off I ran to the Grampians, and I was never seen again. Off I go for a mountain tramp, 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 tramp. Here's Cairngorm Bridge. People are coming from the loch. It's not the hunters though. They dress in black tops and trousers. Very intense looking folk. The only way to defeat the hunters is to think like them, but do it quicker. I need to get into the mountain pass, a scary place below Ben McDooey. I've been waiting for this. I'll watch people to discover who they are. What's their profession? How they act. In Glasgow, I saw an attack in a close. I mentioned it. No one believed me. They carried on in their ignorance. I learned that the truth is not always trusted. Later, a colleague I counted on did not tell the truth. He told a lie to save himself. I was penalised. Taken together, I was at a loss. I was suffocating. Around me, a protective cell formed, a cocoon. Within it, I observed. I analysed. I told the truth. I don't trust all folk. I do trust the honest. I'm climbing up near Luchter's Crag. Up here, right down to the tree line. Where are they? They must have clocked my card at Aviemore. I don't see them yet. Well, but they'll come. I know their methods. Yeah, I'll listen out for the drone. If it comes, I'll go in to the rocks. Will they find my cocoon before I fly from it? I need to go up into Larrigou. High exposure all round. No hunter. Radio comms. I like it. Let's leave no trace. Let's go among the deer. The head of the herd is calling far, far away. We meet one night in the silver light on the road to Ben McDooey. Oh, I go with a trampety tramp, 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 tramp. I see the hunters coming. Well, they're still a long way off. I know they follow the deer. Do they know a Glen Tilt? Up the hill I go. In the large boulders. It's like being in an eyrie. I watch them passing. They'll worry more about falling off the boulders. The hunters will be looking forward and down along the glen below. But where will they go? I'll take the other. Shh. Sam. Shh. rocket have gone on through. They're jogging along the Lena D, so I'll go south. Aye, let's get out of here. Now I'll win the big parade. I'll win the 10 grand. Off I go with a trampity tramp, 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 tramp. The cocoon is now open. I can fly.